Hi everyone, I'm Diana with Dress Tech, and today we're going to talk about corsets. So stay tuned to learn how to go from this to this. Corsets have been around for hundreds of years, and they're still a fantastic way to slim and smooth your midsection. So let's talk about what to look for in your first corset. Okay, so first of all, you want to get yourself a proper waist training corset, not one of these frilly little costume corsets. This thing is pretty, it's got a nice bow and some little lacy details, but this is lingerie. This is not going to change your body. I wish you guys could feel the difference, but since you're not here, I went ahead and put these on the scale. But this costume corset measures out at 7 ounces, and this waist training corset is a whopping 28 ounces, so it's 4 times as heavy. You know, this looks great as lingerie, but this is actually going to cinch you in and reduce your waist by up to 4 inches for that hourglass figure you're looking for. So if this is your first corset, I highly recommend that you start off with an underbust style, and that's for a couple of reasons. First of all, it's going to be easier to find a proper fit. So an overbust corset not only has to fit you right down below, but it also has to fit right up above, and that's going to be more of a challenge. Another benefit of the underbust corset is they tend to work with most outfits. Sometimes with an overbust, that upper part of the corset just gets in the way. So if this is your first corset, definitely stick with an underbust. I also recommend that you keep your first corset plain and simple. I know it's tempting to go for something with pretty bows and frilly trim and extra hardware on it, but sometimes that stuff just gets in your way. Oftentimes you actually want to wear the corset underneath your clothing undetected. In corsetry we call that stealthing, and if your corset has all these odds and ends on it, that's just not going to be an option. So keep it simple, keep it plain, you'll have a versatile corset. Okay, now let's look at some more specific features to look for. First of all, boning. Boning is the vertical members that help give a corset some structure. On cheaper corsets, the boning is made out of plastic. Watch out for that. So you're looking for steel boning, and this corset not only has steel boning, but it has double steel boning. I know it's really hard to see on the camera, but everywhere where there is a boning pocket, there's actually 2 pockets side by side for double the boning and double the support. So if you can find it, look for double steel boning. Another thing to look for is large diameter pins on a steel busk. These pins carry a lot of load when you're cinched up, and sometimes they bend or break, and that's a common reason why corsets go in the garbage. So we use the largest diameter pins that we could find on our corsets. These measure 0.145 inches diameter, and here's a cheaper corset for reference, and these measure 0.115 inches. So definitely stick with those larger pins and your corset will last a lot longer. Now, another common failure of corsets is grommets. Cheap grommets tear out of the corset. So you're going to look for a corset with large diameter grommets. The bigger the grommet, the higher the loads it can carry, and the longer your corset is going to last. Another helpful feature of these Dress Tech waist trainers are the built-in garter loops. So if you need to keep your hosiery up, you can clip them right here, and that way you don't have to wear a separate garter belt. Let's talk about how to find your corset size. Just grab a tape measure, measure your waist circumference, and then you're going to subtract 4 inches. That's the perfect size for most people. If you happen to have a higher body mass index, meaning you're more squishy, then you can take off 5 inches or maybe even 6 inches. But for most of you, take off 4 inches, that's your corset size. You're all done. The next thing I want to do is I'm going to demonstrate how to put this corset on, and I'm going to show you 2 different ways to tie it all by yourself. But first, I've got to get my hip pads on. So I really can't stress how important hip pads are in creating a feminine hourglass figure. The ideal shape has full hips and a narrow defined waist, and this corset's going to do great work on my waist, but I still need that padding to give me the full hips. Okay, so you're going to want to start with your laces loose, okay? And each pair crisscrosses, except there are 2 that don't crisscross. These are the bunny ears, and you'll see in a moment these are the ones I'm going to be pulling on when I tighten this baby up and tie it. So first I'm gonna connect the bust here. I like to start at the bottom and then kind of work my way up. There it is. And then reach behind you and grab those two bunny ears and work some of the slack out. And then this is probably your last opportunity to straighten out the modesty panel. There it goes. Tying a corset is a lot like tightening a shoe. You're gonna pull on each pair of lace and you're gonna work that slack down to the free ends where you can finally pull it out. In the case of the corset, we're gonna have to start at the top and bottom and pull the slack towards the middle where we can pull it out with these bunny ears. By the way, if you're finding that you're not very flexible, another great way to do this is with the doorknob trick. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take your two bunny ears and you're going to fasten them onto a doorknob behind you, one on the front, one on the back, and then you're just going to lean forward and keep tension on those bunny ears while you wiggle and pull on things, and that slack will come out one way or the other. So once you've got everything nice and tight, you're just gonna go ahead and tie a bow. And if those laces are hanging down or in your way, just go ahead and tuck them underneath the corset like this. Well, thanks for watching, everyone, and listen, if you thought this video was helpful, do me a favor and click on the subscribe button. And if you're interested in any of these products, you can find them at the Dress Tech store, procrossdresser.com.